Thank you, councillors. And those in the public gallery. Welcome to the December 2025 meeting for the Central Coast Council, our final meeting for the year. And where do the years go? We have just concluded our annual general meeting where we received the annual report for 24-25 and now going into the meeting for the month of December. Please be advised that this council meeting is recorded. It will be live streamed and will remain available to the public online. All persons attending the council meetings are to behave in a respectful and considerate manner and not engage in conduct or language that could be perceived as offensive, defamatory or threatening towards others. We thank you for that. Councillor Smith, could I ask you to do our acknowledgement of country and our statement of values, please?
The acknowledgement of country. The Central Coast Council acknowledges and pays respect to the traditional owners of Lutruwita, Tasmania, the Palina Pakna people. We celebrate the Paninula Pana tribe of this northern country, and in doing so, we celebrate one of the world's oldest continuing cultures. And our statement of values, guided by the diverse beliefs, experiences and backgrounds of the people we represent, we strive to make inspired and respectful decisions today that will build a better tomorrow.
You indeed. Thank you so much. Attendance and apologies. We have apologies this evening from Councillor Sophie Lehman and Councillor Gary Carpenter. Declarations of interest. Councillors and staff must declare any pecuniary or conflict of interest for any open session on tonight's agenda. Are there any declarations, please? Thank you. Item 3 is the confirmation of the minutes. The recommendation is that you confirm the minutes of the ordinary meeting of the council held on the 17th of November 2025. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for this item? Thank you, Councillor Van Rooyen. Seconded, Councillor Diprose. Any questions on the clarity of the minutes, please? No, there being none, I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 4 is the Mayor's report. Starting with 4.1 is the Mayor's communications. For those that did not join us for the annual general meeting, you would be, we should tell you that we held a minute's silence for the victims and the families of the Bondi tragedy yesterday, but we did that in our previous meeting. So my communications as part of this meeting focus on everything fabulous. Starting with the Christmas parade and the carols, most of us were able to attend or participate or ride in a truck or wave to people, which was fabulous. Just an opportunity to thank the staff, particularly from community development that put so much work into it, into the event, multiple events that took place yesterday as part of our Christmas and festive and holiday celebrations, and in particular our thanks and acknowledgement to all those volunteers, which were pretty much everybody. It was, you know, their work was not unnoticed, and of course we can never control the weather, but the numbers were phenomenal, and it was a great diversity in the floats, and there was a great diversity in the songs and the carols and the singing and the celebration and the events that we were all able to take part in. So that was a lovely way to lead us into the coming day. The other item that I wanted to just mention, last week I attended the annual general meeting of the Penguin Makeover community, that you know do so much great work in keeping the beautiful township of Penguin looking fabulous. I just wanted to make mention that in the President's report they acknowledged their work and support of Lee Gracie. So through your director to our staff member Lee, and also to Louise and the Parks team through the Director of Infrastructure. They made a point of mentioning them and saying how helpful and supportive they've been, and that's music to our ears, isn't it? Because the combination of volunteer and community input and passion that we are able to support and facilitate is what it is that we aim to do. So, and our thanks, of course, to the Penguin Makeover community who continue to do great things. The other thing I want to touch on, and if it's through you, CEO, just to the Director of Strategic Growth, Daryl, I wonder if you would just tell us a bit about the planning awards that your team recently participated in and won.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd love to publicly acknowledge the achievements of staff, and I'm thrilled to announce that two really important council initiatives were recently recognised at the Tasmanian Awards for Planning Excellence. First of all, our extensive suite of planning process improvements, which included the ability to book an appointment with a planner online, some important policy improvements, including a new planning mediation policy, which is, I understand, a Tasmanian first, and our sold-out planning for non-planners event won the Improving Planning Processes category at the awards, and Our Homes, Our Future, which of course is the Central Coast Strategic Housing Master Plan, won the Strategic Planning Project category and the People's Choice Award. Great towns and cities don't just happen there. They're planned, and planning often isn't easy. So I think that this recognition by the Planning Institute of Australia should give our community confidence that the planning work that we're doing here in Central Coast is among the best in Tasmania. I'd particularly like to thank each and every person in my strategic growth department for their commitment, hard work and ability, but also yourself, Mayor and councillors, for their leadership.
Thank you, Daryl. It's a great pleasure to help your team, and congratulations to you and to them. That is all from Mayor's communications. That takes us to 4.2 is the Mayor's diary. Just some changes there for myself for the purpose of record. I was unable to attend the Penguin District School Palooza, but I hear that it was fabulous. I did have to look up the word Palooza to see what that meant, but now I know that it means it's a fabulous party. I also didn't make it to the Penguin Christmas Parade or the end of year barbecue for the Don River Railway after their annual general meeting. Are there any other omissions or changes to the diary before we receive it? No, thank you. In that case, would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for that item? Thank you, Councillor Viney, seconded Councillor Wiley. Any comments on the diary?
Yes, I'd just like to say that even with the omissions and changes that you've made, you've had a very, very busy month, and it would be understandable if you had to miss a couple of them on the way through.
Thank you, Councillor Viney. Any other comments?
Mayor, I've just noticed there that it's been omitted, the Indigenous walk on Saturday.
This diary goes to Friday last.
Right. Okay.
Hold that over until next month. You can talk all about it in January. How's that? That work? Good. Councillor Beswick.
One thing I don't think there, you've got the South Ryana Memorial Hall open day, but there was also the opening of their new kitchen.
Oh, one and the same. It's just the wording she's listed from the invitation, but that's right. Would you like to tell us about the South Ryana Hall kitchen opening, Mr. Beswick, Councillor Beswick, now that we're on the topic of the fabulous things that happen in South Ryana?
Thanks, Mayor. It was a pleasure to go with yourself and also Councillor Diprose to the South Ryana Hall, which have got a very strong committee up there, and they've raised money through grants, functions and so forth to raise money to spend. I'm not exactly sure of the numbers, but they've been able, in dollars, but they've been able to install a fantastic new kitchen there that they will be able to do many more fundraising events, perhaps cater for various events at their hall. So congratulations to them.
Indeed. Thank you. And the hall is available for hire, and it now has a fabulous kitchen. So we would encourage people that want to get back there and have some sort of celebration to reach out to the hall committee members. They'd be pleased to host you there. Any other comments on the diary? Councillor?
Yes, I would just like to, and forgive me if you've already spoken about it, how wonderful it was to have the International Cafe in Central Coast down at the Noman Room. It was a wonderful turnout, and hopefully looking forward to having another one in our midst soon. So there was lots of great comments from people that had just sort of seen it and just turned up, even not even knowing what it was. We had one person who thought it was the community conversation, but stayed and had a fabulous time, and said that he would be back. The different cultures, their foods that were on display and everything was amazing, and the dancing and everything. It was just wonderful to see so much joy and so many different cultures in the one room.
Thank you, indeed, and a common theme amongst those people, which is how grateful they all are to live in Australia and in particularly in Tasmania on the northwest coast. Yes, it was a pleasure to host them. Any other comments, statements? Thank you to those of you who have attended items on behalf of the organisation in the last month. I had a mover. It was Councillor Viney. Yes, anything to close?
No, thank you, Mayor.
No. Put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. Takes us to item 5, councillor reports. Councillors may acknowledge or report on important events and community matters at this time on community groups or committees that they represent council or represent the council on. Any reports, please? Councillor Diprose.
I just wanted to highlight an event that I attended on the 3rd of December, which was International Day of Disabilities.
Yes.
And that was the opening of a space for New Horizons. New Horizons are a fantastic organisation which have been on the coast for nearly 30 years now, that make sure people with disabilities are included and get to try out a whole range of different sports. Over the last couple of years, they have been hosted by the Penguin Football Club and have been temporarily there. They have been gifted a space by Reverend Van Leerdam of the Sanctuary Hill Christian Fellowship Church. So they now have a space up there on top of the hill, which is wonderful. Then they've got the hall to do all their activities in when it's raining and everything. So I just want to acknowledge that, and also acknowledge the Penguin Lions Club as well, who have helped set that up, transport stuff and everything to get them in that space. So it's great to see that done on the day of International Day of Disabilities.
Indeed. Yes, thank you. Thank you for attending. Thank you for your support for that group and for the report. Councillor Bestwood.
I'd just like to, I suppose, acknowledge the work that you've done for the Olds Men's Shed, and for people to listen in on Friday morning from 5:30 till 8. The ABC are going to be doing a outside broadcast. People may remember the story, but apparently Anthony Albanese promised a chocolate wheel to ABC radio in Launceston, and they didn't come up with it. And the mayor happened to be speaking to one of the girls from ABC, and it got mentioned. She said, "I will get one, but I want them to come do an AB down here." But that was in the middle of winter, and she said, "Not then. Come down in the middle of summer." So those that might want to be down there from 5:30 to 8 o'clock on Friday morning.
That's AM, Councillor.
It's AM. Yeah, I know it's AM, so therefore it's not going to affect your day. So just go to bed early. It should be a fun time, hopefully, and yeah, so it'll be good. It'll be the culmination of your efforts to get that chocolate wheel to the ABC Met.
Oh, well, it is a fabulous opportunity for us to highlight the events that happen around the men's shed and with the women's shed, and then at that precinct, and we'll have a number of guest speakers on ABC Northern Tasmania that day, all from Central Coast, doing fabulous things in Central Coast, or that have messages about things that are going on here. So it's been a pleasure to lead that. Ask me if it's still a pleasure about 4:30 AM on Friday morning, and I'll let you know.
You need a wake-up call, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other communications from any other councillors? Congratulations to you all, and thank you all for your year of not only representing our community, but attending the many and various meetings and functions and committees, and answering all the emails and all the Facebook inboxes that you get for random things during the past 12 months, and your service to our community is greatly appreciated. Councillor questions on notice is 5.2. No questions were taken on notice at the previous meeting. Councillor questions on notice. No questions on notice have been received. Councillor questions without notice. I just feel like this should just be one single category, shouldn't it? Councillor questions without notice. Councillors are invited to ask any questions without notice to the CEO or directors at this time. Are there any questions from the table, please?
Okay.
No? All is well. 5.5, councillor motions on notice. No motions on notice have been received. Takes us to item 6, which is petitions and deputations. No petitions have been received and no request to address the meeting as a deputation have been made. That takes us to public question time. So public question time is conducted in accordance with regulations 33 and 36 to 38 of the Local Government Meeting Procedures Regulations 2025 and our own public question time policy. Public question time is limited to a maximum of 30 minutes. Firstly, we start with the public questions taken on notice from the previous meeting. One question was taken on notice at the 17th of November council meeting. Our written responses to these questions are sent directly to the questioners following the meeting and are now provided below. So this is in the agenda for the purpose of records. So you have one question there which was asked by Mr. Kevin Aboud regarding the naming of the Leven River, and you can see our response there. Two questions, sorry, so 7.2. Public questions on notice. Two questions from a member of the public on behalf of the Risby Elm Tree Collective were submitted on notice for tonight's meeting. And it is my task to read the question and the response. You've also been provided in the agenda just a brief outline statement that gives some context to the question. The questioner was Mr. Glenn Williams on behalf of the Risby Elm Tree Collective. So there's a bit of a background statement there which provides you some context. But the questions are as followed. Question 1, why has the suspected tree vandalism sign in Risby Street not been replaced? And what efforts are currently being taken against vandalism to trees in Risby Street? The response from the Director of Infrastructure Services is that council had replaced the suspected tree vandalism sign after the initial reports of its removal. Council was not aware that it was no longer in place and will endeavour to replace the sign again. We appreciate you bringing this to our attention. Question 2, given the council's knowledge that A, the trees are unpopular with some residents and B, vandalism is occurring, could the council guarantee that its stated objective to allow the redevelopment of Risby Street unhindered is not communicating tacit endorsement by council of the demise of trees, i.e. is council turning a blind eye to the vandalism or destruction? Is my understanding of that question. The response to that question is that council is prominent in its position that it does not accept vandalism of trees and other vegetation, supported by our Greening Central Coast strategy and our vegetation damage signage policy. As you have referenced in your first question, council had placed some signage in Risby Street, notifying the community of council's position and encouraging the community to supply council with any information they had in relation to the suspected vandalism. Council's ability to act in response to vegetation damage is limited, and council have taken every available action to it at this time, including investigating the health of the trees in response to the suspected vandalism and considering legal action that could be pursued. The suspected vandalism in this location has been treated in accordance with our policy in the same way it would be treated at any other location within our municipality. Council refutes the implication that it tacitly endorsed vandalism of these trees and has turned a blind eye to suspected vegetation on Risby Street. That takes us to 7.3, which is public questions without notice. So public questions without notice provides an opportunity for members of the public to ask questions of the council relating to the activities, relating to our activities. Statement and debate will not be allowed. Members may ask up to 2 questions without notice at this time. Please address any questions to myself, state your name and their area of residence and advise the subject matter of your question prior to asking it. As outlined at the beginning, questions are to be asked in accordance with state and council public question time policy. Please note that the questions relating to any items for decision on this agenda, on this meeting agenda, are not allowed in the interest of procedural fairness. And I advise you once again that the council meeting is being recorded. It will be live streamed and made available to the public online. Must be getting late in the year. That said, and I believe there's some information there on the side table in relation to the policies and so forth. But I feel like most of you in the gallery know all of that already. Please, if you have a question for us, if you stand and come to the end of the table or come close to the end of the table as you wish, just so that our microphones can pick up your audio so that those good folks at home can hear your question. Are there any questions for us this evening?
Hey guys, g'day. Darren Briggs is my name from Oliver Street. Firstly, as we walked up, it was great. Well, it was great, but sad to see the flags at half mast. So I'm sorry I missed the minute silence because, you know, what a time that we need to come together as a community, despite our differences and things. So thanks for highlighting that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've got to take two questions, if I can, on different topics. So firstly, one of mine that's been a recurring question for quite a few years, and I should have checked when I first contacted council about electric vehicle charging facilities in the council area. I reckon it's 5, 6 or 7 years ago when council first got a electric vehicle charger from a state donation grant. Look, I'm an avid electric vehicle user myself and advocate based on many reasons for energy security, for keeping our energy supplies produced in Tasmania, supporting Tasmanian jobs. I think that's amazing. And especially too, hearing recently that a third of our fossil fuels, our petrol and diesel, is manufactured from Russian crude oil, helping to fund Ukraine and then getting sold to us as a third party sale. So, you know, this is a great thing. Yep. So I'm just wondering where we're at, because I've been told a number of times over the years there'll be electric vehicle recharging in Alveston and Penguin, and I didn't notice it on like the Ribey Street upgrade. So it'd be great to follow up at some stage.
Good question. So yeah,
certainly now I'll pass that on to the Director of Strategic Growth.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, I can't speak specifically to Ribey Street, maybe Nick can, but certainly we're waiting for the release of details of the next grant round. But what you will notice if you read the fine print of council's strategic work these days is that we're trying to position ourselves so that when those funding opportunities do become available, we've got the evidence base there to support it. And if I think about projects like the Johnson's Beach Master Plan, even redesign of the Penguin Visitor Information Centre, we're always saying, make sure we're thinking about electric vehicle charging stations. So I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. But Nick, I don't know if you have anything to say about Ribey Street.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't included in the scope of Ribey Street. We'll come back to the community soon on the basis of that, the community consultation we've done. But yeah, no, we haven't had any feedback around that, but it's a point made.
Cool. And I should have said in my question, from the health point of view, hopefully council's aware of the Idle Off program for childcare centres and schools, because, you know, standing next to a petrol car for kids is like smoking a cigarette from my doctor's point of view. A second question.
Thank you.
I'll just here on behalf of the Elm Street Collective. Obviously there's background, and I'll just ask this question. Will council work with the Elm Tree Collective to establish art installations on numerous trees throughout the council area, not just Risby Street, helping to highlight the numerous values that trees provide to the community? And some councils on the mainland pay people to maintain those trees on an annual basis, thereby adding to community knowledge as recommended in the Greening the Central Coast strategy. And for people online and for council, if you want to do that, that just gives some examples of art that's been done on trees in different places, including some little, you know, just little plaques, not you know, it can be temporary stuff, but, you know, what the values of trees are to highlight them, because I don't think, I didn't know lots, and I'm sure many of us don't. So thanks.
Yeah, no, great question. Thank you. Sia, did you want to make a comment about the potential art?
Certainly, public art is a great enabler, I think, within a community, both from showcasing the skills of our local artists, but also highlighting the, the beautiful benefits of where we live. Certainly that is something, if you have a proposal, if you can give us a bit more detail, we can pass that on to Hive, and we can probably look to program that or see how that fits into forward programs, but certainly something we'd be open to.
Yeah, great suggestion. From recollection, there's an element of our term plan that talks about public art, and would certainly progress that in as far as getting the policy and the staff that can do that, because I have some parts that I'd like painted myself. So I'm looking forward to 2026. Thank you, and taken on board. That's a great question. Any other questions, please? Michael, welcome.
Thank you very much, and I apologise that I made a nuisance of coming in so late there too.
Never a nuisance.
I'm a proper nuisance. Everyone should know that by now. Yes, in relation to our previous friend who just made his notes known, concerning battery chargers for electric vehicles, but is it just as much going to be thought about and considered that people such as like myself can also, when they go out, also have charging stations for their scooters provided for, because this is one large matter which I feel has been overlooked far too much and is not considered as much, and yet this is our only method of transport. When the batteries can go flat, we're stranded, and a lot of the cars are too narrow, too small. Like the taxis just can't take us, and we do need charging stations to be able to keep ourselves going.
Thank you so much. This has come up before. CEO.
Certainly, that's a great question, and I think we're all aware of mobility issues are stronger, and there's certainly different methods of people now to remain active in our community, and having motorised and electric vehicles in different forms is a great way of doing that. So certainly it's something that we have considered, and that was part of the consultation or the thought process with Reby Street as well. But certainly it's something that is on the radar for us. Whether we have a solution now, probably not, but certainly something that we'll have front of mind as we move forward to make sure that we're catering for the diverse needs of our community.
Is there an action in the disability access plan, Darryl? Not sure.
There's not minutes around that specifically, but I guess increasingly when we do this master planning type work, we're actually consulting with our Access and Inclusion Committee. But Michael, you are the second person since Saturday to mention that need to me, so it's firmly implanted in this.
Thank you. And Councillor de Groot, I know that you have raised it around this table also.
Yeah, and I think the last report was that it was going to be looked at, any further works and upgrades. It's going to be considered.
Thank you, Michael. Yes.
Well, this is just that we make sure that they're not suitable for the charging of these electric scooters. So we don't want to keep them going too fast.
They can run out of battery, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have Mick running around on one of them.
Thank you so much. Are there any other questions from the gallery?
Is it possible to ask a question as a follow-up to the response received from a previous question?
If it's a different question, yes, by all means. In relation, possibly in relation to Risby Street, yeah. Or by all means, yes. Okay. Please stand and come forward and
thank you.
Tell us your name.
Felicity Boyd. I'm a local resident in Ulverston, and
Felicity.
I'd like to. I'm trying to frame my response as a question. Given that the council maintains that a replacement sign was put up on the tree outside number 15 Risby Street, but nobody I know who's been monitoring the situation, including myself, who walks the street every day, ever saw a sign that was a replacement for the original sign. I'm wondering how council might explain that. And I'm also wondering on the same theme, given that a previous arborist report identified that there had been vandalism and poisoning of multiple trees on Risby Street, which is quite visible. You can see that half of them are dead, and it's not a natural
doesn't seem to be naturally occurring.
It's in certain sections of the tree, and there are drill holes in the ground near some of the trees. It's fairly obvious what's happened. Why did vandalism signs never go up for those trees?
Thank you.
I'll pass to the director.
Yeah, no worries. So in terms of the second sign, the sign was put up, the team put up a temporary, just I believe it was A4 size laminated sign, and subsequently ordered an aluminium sign at the same time. We yet to receive the aluminium sign to put up. I can't explain why the sign is no longer there. I could make guesses, but the intention is once we arrive, once the larger sign arrives, because we ran out of stock, which is a sad thing in
Yes,
itself.
indeed.
We'll put that sign back up. In terms of why the sign didn't go up on our first understanding trees were vandalised, don't have a clear answer for you. I wasn't here at the time to be able to personally understand it, but we take the point on board that, you know, maybe we should have acted sooner.
And the second question about the arborist report? So yeah,
Was that the
second,
It was setting the scene that the arborist had actually said there was clear damage to the
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
so yes, to your point, it is sad when we run out of stock of signs that tell people about vandalism, but I noticed that we have had to erect a number of them right across the municipal area of late, so I can understand that.
Can we just have that answer clarified that was written then? Because I think the answer said that a second sign had already gone up, but that's what we were told.
Yep.
That
And that's
we were waiting for the second sign. The second sign has not actually gone up.
no,
So
no,
just-
no. What I said
No, it
was
has.
a
It's disappeared again.
temporary sign was put up after the initial
And they've all
advice that
laminated?
the first sign was removed. We were advised of that. We put a temporary sign up because we had none of the permanent signage stock available. So it was, I'm told it was just a laminated piece of paper that was fixed to the tree. I don't know why that's gone. You've now told us that it's not there. So we're going to endeavour to put, we're hoping that the permanent sign is here soon, and we'll put that sign up once it arrives.
Will you put them on the other ones now that you've acknowledged they've been vandalised?
We can. Quite often we don't necessarily need to sign every tree, but if we place one in that community of trees, that sends the message. But we can review if there's more signage needed. Yep.
Thank you. Other questions from the gallery? No? Thank you for the questions. Thank you for your attendance. It is much appreciated. We will move on then to item 8. Item 8 is council acting as a planning authority, and 8.1 is the visitor accommodation RV campsite retrospective application for 410 Guns Plains Road, Guns Plains. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for this item, please?
So moved.
Councillor Beswick, seconded Councillor Wiley. Councillor Beswick?
Yes, thanks, Mayor. This application is actually for Central Coast Council. It's the reason that we need to do this. We've come up with a camping bylaw, and it's just a matter of getting our ducks lined up, so to speak, that this piece of land is actually allowed to be as a camping ground, and then it's designated as such, and people aren't using it in a way that it's not allowed to be used, which it has been historically, but it's just a matter of making everything compliant to go along with our new camping strategy. So it's just really, as I say, ticking the boxes, so to speak. So I'm happy to endorse the approval of this application.
Thank you. And for clarity, for anyone that might be listening online or not looking at a copy of the agenda, it is an application from us to us, which is why in both of those steps an independent person is used. So an independent planning consultant has done the report and the evaluation, and an independent planning consultant has done the evaluation to check how that complies with the planning scheme. So that gets a little bit convoluted, really, but we use no, that's okay. We stand at as much arm's length as we can, but given as you are the planning authority, then it is your task to determine the appropriate or not of it. Other speakers, please. Councillor Wiley.
Thank you. I guess the only other thing that Councillor Beswick may not have pointed out is that it's a retrospective application. So that's already been used for this purpose. It's certainly just a process to make sure that we're clear and transparent and do what we expect of any other applicant. So I will also support the motion.
Thank you so much. Other speakers? Councillor Diprose.
Just wanted to acknowledge the one representation that was put in, understand their concerns, but it's not for us as a planning matter.
Correct.
Excuse me, Mayor, sorry to interrupt. Can I just confirm for the minutes that we're on the item council acting as planning authority? And that's been.
Thank you. Thanks for the clarification. We were on 8.1, which is council acting as a planning authority, and what you're pointing out is that I failed to have a mover and a seconder for 8.1, and I moved on to 8.2. That is the issue here, isn't it?
A mover and a seconder, but it wasn't.
Thank you. Can I return councillors their attention to 8.1? My apologies. So we have a mover and a seconder for 8.1 that the council acts as a planning authority under 8.1. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you, and my thanks for that correction. So I take us now to 8.2. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Beswick, seconded Councillor Wiley. Councillor Beswick, we acknowledge that you've already made some contribution. Was there anything further that you wanted to make in relation to this
I don't think there's anything more for me to add. This said, apologies for initially for not noting that it was A, retrospective, and B, that we were at arm's length to that.
We did say we'd had a long year, and here we are at the end of it. So that is entirely on myself. Councillor Wiley, you've also made some comments. I'm presuming you're happy to leave that as standing. Nothing else to say? No. Anything to close, Councillor Beswick?
No, Mayor, other than to, again, as Councillor Diprose raised, to acknowledge the representation from the neighbour. I understand their thoughts, but it's not changing the use and what it's already been used at. So happy to endorse it.
Thank you so much. I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. Thank you for the correction, and my apologies for those that are following along. That takes us to item 9, which is the Office of the CEO and Mayor, and 9.1, which is the Chief Executive Officer's report. You have a full report there for the month of December. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for that item, please? Councillor Diprose, thank you. Seconded. Councillor Beswick. Councillor Diprose, anything to add on this report?
No, Mayor. Well, we've had lots and lots happening, so it's good to see a whole heap of permits going out for various things, including the annual Ladies and Children's Fishing Day at Iscot Park, a whole range of numerous things there, the Christmas Parade, Penguin Carols by Candlelight, the Northwest Pride in the Park, Honey and Hive. Just goes to show Central Coast is a great place to have events. And yeah, I just get nothing else to say to that.
Thank you. Good. Any other comments on the CEO's report?
Mayor, if I may, can I just acknowledge that we did receive formal correspondence from the Minister Felix Ellis, Minister of Business, Industry and Resources, in response to Council's request to cease harvesting within the Darl Range. That was received by Council on the 4th of December. And has been noted by the Minister. However, the Minister has declined Council's request. So we will now look to see how we can actually progress this further through our advocacy plan that we're developing. We just wanted to make sure we highlighted that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Sorry, I should have come to you earlier. Any other comments from the CEO's report, please? Councillor Beswick?
Just noted, and I'm not sure whether it's been highlighted for somebody else to raise, is about some black spot funding for Wilmot Road's been, that there's a submission for a grant pending, an outcome from that.
Yes, so that is included in the report. Councillors will be aware of the issues that have occurred on Wilmot Road and the traffic concerns from the residents and the accidents that have occurred there. We have submitted an application to the Black Spot funding, and you can see the size of the finance required to rectify the Wilmot Road location. So it is almost, or $643,000. So it is a significant amount of funding. So we will await optimistically an outcome of the black spot funding. I know that many of the residents of the Forth area are most concerned about, and those that travel that road, been a source of some discussion for many years, Councillor Beswick. So it has certainly got a larger price tag than I anticipated. But anyway, we will see what happens with the application, and then we will make our decision from there. Anything else on that report?
Oh, just very quickly, Mayor, it puts a smile on my face when I see the opportunity for our young people to represent their schools and our state, and I'm talking about the individual development grant recipients. We've had a number of students here from the Northwest represent nationally in the Lego League and athletics, and to be able to assist those families and supporting their kids, and I think that's truly exciting. And although it's on paper here it's a small amount, it means a lot to them, and it puts a smile on my face to see these good news stories on a report.
Thank you for highlighting that. It does indeed, as you said, it's only a small amount, but it is helpful to the families that are trying to encourage their children to participate in those things. Thank you. Anything else? Sorry, who was my mover, please?
Councillor Duprose.
Thank you. Councillor Duprose. Anything to close?
No, Mayor.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? The motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. Takes us to item 10, which is community services, and 10.1 is the Dial Park redevelopment. And it is recommending that the council received the concept designs for the redevelopment of Dial Park to a Tier 4 AFL venue and submit the attached concept plans to the Minister for Sports and Events, Minister Duggan. So another step in the process, one of many, but this one needs your endorsement. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion? Thank you. Councillor Van Rooyen, seconded. Councillor Viney. Councillor Van Rooyen.
Yeah, quite happy to move to accept this concept. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for, Mayor. Thank you. I got lost for words there for a moment. As you're aware, we workshopped this recently. It's exciting to see the opportunities that will come to the Central Coast in the future as we bring the Dial Park ground to that next level, and certainly encouraged with the ideas that Allied Architecture have brought forward in that development. Thanking the staff that have also worked together with that as well to come up with some concept ideas that we'll be able to move forward with this development.
Thank you. Other speakers? Councillor Viney.
Just like I say, it's a very exciting project to see the advancement of Dial Park and going to a Tier 4 AFL venue potentially. Obviously, we had to put the concept together to present to State Parliament for the government to actually fund this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Other speakers? Councillor Duprose.
Along with you, Mayor, and acknowledging Councillor Viney as well. When we first started on Dial Park, that was one of the envisions we have, that one day we'd be able to have some AFL games on there. So to see all the work that's been done there, with more work to do, that we are getting closer and closer to that happening, is very exciting. And
indeed, it's been a long journey. Councillor Smith.
Yes, I also endorse it, and I of course support the motion. It's just great to see it being brought up to T4 standards. I also acknowledge a lot of the community's efforts and help with the concept with people. It's not like we've just come up with this. We've had a lot of discussion with the people involved in the football clubs, and we've taken everyone on board as we have gone forward with this. And it's going to be a really exciting development for us, and really look forward to seeing this happen. Really looking forward to that.
Thank you. Any other speakers? Councillor Beswick.
Just briefly, Mayor, I was pleased to see the innovation in some of how they've gone ahead to do this project. You know, it's basically a separate transportable building plopped on top, a couple of piers down through the middle. But, you know, I thought it was really good because there's not a lot of budget there to do that. And I thought that the way that they've worked through the process, naturally, it's got to be approved by the Minister for Sports and Events. That's not actually a go-ahead. I commend the staff and the architects of working to be able to come up with a design that has been able to fit in to the budget. I believe with the P90 cost estimate, which is 90%, which is, we should be pretty happy with that. So let's just hope that it gets ticked off and we can work through from there.
Thank you. Other speakers? I suppose all I would add is that we're a long way from the finish line here, and I draw your attention to some of the risks that are outlined in the agenda, the financial risks and the reputational risks. As it stands at the moment, council would be the owner and the manager of the facility. That has been a key point of discussion with ourselves and the state government over the last couple of years, but the CEO and the director have clearly given you some food for thought in relation to the risks associated with this project. It's just the next step. We'll see what the minister says and goes from there. Certainly talking to some of the stakeholders at their meetings over the weekend, they were pleased with the level of engagement that we'd had, to Councillor Smith's point, but it is just a small another step there, and our task, as has always been the case, will be to determine how we get the maximum benefit for all members of this community out of their investment into such a facility. Councillor Viney, were you the mover? Councillor Van Ruwen was the mover. Sorry, thank you so much. Councillor Van Ruwen to close.
Just in closing, Mayor, thank you very much for also bringing forward and the awareness that there is other considerations such as the risk to put in this. And sometimes I think when people come in, they may be watching at home. They think that it's easy to chase something big and shiny, but there's a lot of consideration and thought that goes into such projects. And thank you very much for highlighting that. But nothing else to close. Thanks very much.
Thank you. I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Declared it carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 11 is corporate services. 11.1 is the financial report. So you have the financial report there for the period ending the 30th of November. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion, please? Councillor Viney, seconded by Councillor Van Ruwen. Councillor Viney.
Yes, I'm happy to move that the council receive the financial report for the period ending 30th of November 2025 as presented. Once again, a very clear and concise report with details of the line items where they are on track or there is a variance expected or whatever. One little line in amongst the whole lot that does attract my attention is that the early forecast shows an underlying surplus of $41,000 compared with the budgeted surplus of $13,000. So we're actually in front of where we would otherwise think we would be with budget.
At this point in the year.
Yep.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Other speakers? No, thank you. There being nothing further, I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 12 is infrastructure services, and there are no sessions for the open session, no items for the open session. 13 is strategic growth. 13.1 development support determinations. You have a copy of the November development support determinations report in front of you. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion, please?
So moved, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Beswick. Seconded Councillor Smith. Councillor Beswick.
Yes, Mayor, like things are still bubbling along well with our planning development applications as they have been, and as you often mention, Mayor, the timeframes that are taken to get these applications through is a testament to the hard work of our staff, and they've been suitably recognised with that award that they've received this year, this last month. yeah, so things are going along nicely. Be interesting to see how the camping goes with the new system coming in. I'm not sure whether the CEO might like to perhaps add in when that actually might be
There
started.
has been a slight delay. We're looking at, Sam, is it 1 January?
It will vary depending on the campsite. We've got development applications for retrospective change to the land use of each of those sites that we need to wait. So Forth is expected to go live in January, Midway Point early February, and Bannon's Park is the date is yet to be determined because we just need to work through some connectivity issues at that site.
Thank you. So it'll be interesting to see how the numbers work out and the capacity of that. So happy to support those determinations, Mayor.
Excellent. Thank you. The speakers, please. No, I would just draw the attention to anyone that happens to be looking at the agenda, my favourite topic, which is development applications and the timeline in which we approve them. So no permit required, development applications. The required time for this by the state government is 10 days and our average for the month of November was 1.7. Congratulations to the team. Each one of those days is somebody's lives, somebody's money, somebody's overdraft, somebody's something. Yeah. Or if they're trying to build a house, you know, somebody getting closer into building a home. I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 13.2 is the future use for 8 Park Avenue in Penguin. It is an update. As we've requested from the staff as they follow this process through, that they provide us regular updates on the activity, on the establishment of a community hub on the council-owned land at 8 Park Avenue in Penguin. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for that item? Thank you, Councillor Wiley. Seconded, Councillor Van Ruin. Councillor Wiley, anything to add?
There's not too much to say. I think you just, as you pointed out, it's just an update regarding this community hub and the relationship with the Lions Club, the Penguin Men's Shed Council and the owner of the adjoining land. It's just another great way to be able to not lose visibility on something, to get that update and to see community collaboration going ahead. So there's not too much more to say to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
No.
Fabulous. No, nothing further from me. The mover was yourself.
No, I don't have anything else to add.
Nothing
Thank
further
you.
to say. Sorry, I am fuzzy today, aren't I? I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. That brings us to the end of the open session of the meeting. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion at 14.1?
So moved, Mayor.
Councillor Beswick, seconded Councillor Wiley. I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And the meeting is now closed to the public at 6:54 p.m. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your questions.
Thanks, guys.
A merry and safe Christmas to you all. Thank you, Michael. Nice to see you again.
Yes, Michael.